Hi, you're listening to Divinely Connected with Angela, and this is your daily message for Thursday, May 25th. Again, another these this week, the daily cards are multiple cards for one, but also a little bit on the complicated side, right? So it is or shouldn't maybe not maybe complex, right? So let's just keep this in mind as we're going through today's messages. First off, it's all around communication. Now there is some communication coming in. And it makes me feel like, as I take that big deep breath, right? I wouldn't categorize it as negative, but maybe perhaps not how we thought it was going to go. Okay. Which can bring in some discomfort. It can make us walk away feeling a little puzzled, and needing, a hot minute to process. So again, prioritizing processing time. We need to again feel through it, kind of create some stability, kind of ground our energy within this communication. Now they're saying, it's important to stay fair-minded. Um, and again, with that ongoing message that we've been receiving this week of take a pause, take a breath, take a moment, then reply, then react, right? So there is this need to process and go, okay, hang on. And then I feel as though there needs to be clarity with communication. So do not hesitate in speaking up and going, hey, can we go over this? Or what was your intentions behind that? Or what did you mean by that? This is how it came across to me. Was that your intended purpose? There may need to be some kind of cards on the table communication for clarity so that you feel more confident in the exchange that you're in. Now, this ultimately is bringing you to a decision that is bringing in an ending. Okay. So whether this is a communication that brings in insight or brings in answers or brings in completions of the relationship is done, the project is done, the job is done, the house is done. However, this comes in, there is this ending, right? So this card says endings that lead to new beginnings. Now, that again very complex. It's full of grief. Remember, grief is not only for departed loved ones, grief is for anything that once was that no longer is. Jobs, relationships, mindsets, environments, hobbies, habits, routines, right? Anything that is wrapping up. So there is a communication that ultimately brings us to this ending, this completion, this wrapping up type of energy, which then we need, which is bittersweet. I feel very tearful. I feel like there is something to look forward to. So, this is definitely an ending that is leading to a new beginning. And even by choice, doesn't mean that it's not going to be complex emotionally. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be sad that one season of your life or one chapter of your life is coming to a close. You can be sad and optimistic and excited, looking forward at the same time. Both can exist in the same moment. Okay. So keep this in mind as you're moving forward. This may also be a shedding season pretty much from now until the end of, even into July. I was going to say the end of June, but it feels like we're into July where there will be a falling away. There will be people, places, things that no longer serve you that are now going to come into completion, especially, they're saying, especially within relationships. So, friends may be falling away, romantic partnerships may be falling away, colleagues, coworkers, you may be leaving, they may be leaving. There's a change out within relationships. Okay. And this is again reminding you that we are all on our own individual paths, right? And that we're all growing at different rates and we all are on different experiences. So there's going to be a time where we all come together. There's going to be a time when we all kind of go our own way. And that is okay. That is okay. The outcome, which gives me the shivers down my side, is the world card. It says a brilliant success, a time of joyful accomplishments and spiritual enlightenment, freedom to do whatever you want. Be proud of yourself. And this is why that decision was so emotionally charged and why this ending is so emotionally charged, because it may not be something that you, in essence, want to do, but you know that it is right for you, right? So, for an example, let's use a house. Let's use Say that your house, you have a growing family, or you're an empty nester and the house is now too big. You may want to downsize, or there's not enough space and you want to upsize. And it's not that you hate where you're living, or it's not the perfect, you love it. There's so many memories there. There's so many connections there. But intellectually, you know that this is the right thing for you to do, that this is the right path to make this change, to walk away from this environment, to move or build or whatever it is. And so it is hard because there's nothing wrong with it. You actually love it. It just isn't for your highest good anymore, right? Because it's either too big or too expensive or too small, or whatever your situation is. You know intellectually this is the right thing for you to do. Emotionally, now that's another whole story, right? And so it is something that is going to need that processing time and that reassurance and that trust that you make good decisions and that this is a good decision and that you're ready to be moving forward in these ways. It is going to be complex emotionally. When we accept that, it makes it a little bit easier as we go through it. Oftentimes, when we make these decisions, especially these intellectual decisions, we then feel like, I shouldn't have this grief. I shouldn't have this bittersweet emotion as I'm making this change. But anything that once was that no longer is has a grieving period. We're all energy. We're all connected to everything by energy. So it is actively that letting go of that energy. It's going to feel awful. It's going to feel emotional. It's going to feel sad. It's going to feel like you're making a mistake. It's going to bring in all these doubtful feelings. It's going to trigger all of this stuff within us. And so this is why a lot of people don't change, because they're like, oh my God, I must be making a mistake. But if you accept that, oh, this is the letting go period, this is going to be hard because I love it here. And it was so pivotal in this season of my life. It was so pivotal in my story. And now I'm making a decision that is emotional, that has risk, that isn't guaranteed, right? So of course this bittersweet emotion can really snowball into doubt and fear. But this is where intuition comes in this reminder that you are making the right decisions, that this is what is right for you. And when we accept of course this is going to be complex emotionally, we then don't have that freak out. That freak out where we're just like, oh my God, I shouldn't be feeling this way. This must mean I'm making a mistake. This must mean that I made a poor decision. Let me do what I can do to take it away, to make it stay. If we accept the vulnerability, we accept the discomfort, we still trust in ourselves and our abilities to do what is right for us, we then come out the other side of it tenfold. We come out the other side of it so proud of ourselves, so happy. Of course, we're still having that grieving experience, but oftentimes, more times than not, if we backtrack and we go, oh, and we get spooked, we regret not doing it. So, this is your reminder that yes, even things that are part of your path, even things that are for your highest good, will have discomfort. And that discomfort is part of our life experience. And that you can still make the hard decision for yourself and be happy that you did it and know intellectually that you're doing the right thing for you and still being a mess, because that's where the magic lies. You're going to be so happy that you chose yourself, invested in yourself, honored yourself in this beautiful way. Accept that there's going to be discomfort, and that's going to help you in your processing without the meltdown, the freak out that you're making the wrong decision. All right, I'm going to leave that with you. Come back tomorrow for tomorrow's daily message.